On the continent of Corvair, a chance encounter brought 4 intrepid travelers together on the road to adventure. Though they began as strangers, they soon became known as the Hero Squad.
All right. So, as y'all surmised last time, you had made your way up to this tower that got you into Mercuria, where you were greeted by an elf riding on back of a Pegasus, who was essentially saying, "Oh, I'll lead you to where you need to go." You decided to fight this elf, and
I
he
decided
proceeded
to try to steal his horse.
You decided to try and steal his horse. And then Atlas, I think, tried to knock him off the horse and got fireballed.
Yeah.
And then Brittany saved the falling Toad Boy. And so you found yourself in kind of a forest clearing below, you're below the tree line. You are sort of hidden away from the rest of the world. But you can see, not too far off in the distance, some lights. And you can even kind of vaguely hear some noise, like people kind of chattering and everything like that. You could clamber your way through kind of the brush if you wanted to head anywhere in the forest.
Okay.
And yeah.
I guess through this little forest that we're in, I guess in our immediate vicinity, are we still, able to see the sort of castle that Brittany wanted to eventually get to?
No.
Okay.
Not from where you are. But you can't really see much of the skyline from where you are.
Well, then I'll just turn to Brittany. Brittany? You wanted me to kill that dude?
Listen, so that didn't go according to plan that I thought. Sometimes I can admit when I've made a mistake.
Lots of mistakes.
And yeah, trying to, kill a celestial guard to steal his Pegasus seemed like we now, put that in the mistake column. Okay.
Yes. Brittany is also dusting herself off and dusting Billiam off as we're having the conversation of getting everything.
You missed a spot.
Okay. I get down on one knee here and I lick my thumb and just start really smudging his cheeks and stuff. there you go.
Yes.
How does Billiam react?
Yes, you missed another spot here.
Okay, hold on. It's just a lot of slobber on that one.
Billiam's sort of pulls, arms out, just preparing to get the full service of cleaning and dusting.
Yeah.
And then
treat me as the royalty that I am, basically.
Billiam doesn't really have hair, right?
No, he's a frog.
Yeah.
He's a bullywug.
Okay, I was about to ruffle his hair, but I'll just ruffle the top of his head, and then that's it.
That is not cleaning.
I also
continue.
You seem fine.
Brittany casts mending and prestidigitation to clean and fix anything on Billiam as well. We're having the conversation.
Yeah, all the stitches get fixed. Everything that was kind of busted is back to brand new, and you got a nice shine.
Billiam inspects his new clothes, and he's just yeah, that's right. You did a good job, and I pat Brittany on the leg, and I'll remember your service next time when I need it.
Great.
Next time I need it.
Okay.
Oh,
so I know that it may not have been the best call, but I couldn't chance them knowing that we were here, and it seemed like an opportune moment. And like I said, I could admit that it was a mistake, and we just have to go forward from here, and hopefully, we don't have to deal with that in the future.
Yeah.
Consequences,
well, I think we're going to probably see consequences, considering they now definitely know. I don't know we're here, but they know, two tourists and their kid are here trying to presumably get into that castle. So
they might
Tourists and their kids.
a family of tourists.
Oh man.
So, but from here, like, I think that we now need to reassess how to get into that castle, because clearly it's very guarded. Clearly they're probably going to be on guard even more now. So, I don't know, maybe, like, we try to go somewhere and dress up as a guard? Maybe...
Yeah. We can spend some time and I can make us all guard costumes.
Yeah, okay, so I guess, like, from here, Brittany, do you know, like, some place that we could just kind of, like, hide out for just a hot minute, gather some supplies to get our guard fits in shape?
Yeah, well, like that, the guy was saying, there's that little village outside the center of this castle, so we could, it should be like, I guess from this point, probably like a day or two of travel away. We could get to that little place. I don't think we can risk flying with Billiam right now because of...
Plus, I'm hungry.
And Billiam is hungry.
Did we just feed him like a bunch of tacos?
Yeah. He's a growing boy, Atlas.
I say we go to the tavern, we go eat.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then maybe what we can do is while we're laying low there, we can... Yeah. No, that'll work. Maybe there are still people that are... part of like still supporting my family, and maybe I could find one of them in the town and we could lay low with them and replenish things and come up with a better plan to get in there. I mean, we can always I could try and go in there and just magic my way in, but I don't think that would be beneficial for all of us.
Yeah, no, let's not go with the magic plan. Let's go with the more make ourselves cool disguises. And if someone just happens to bring up, hey, I don't like the current leadership in Celestia, then you can maybe, suss them out on if they know your family. I wouldn't just bring that up, though. That seems like a bad...
I would not
Atlas
do
has
that.
a great idea.
Yeah. I just feel the need to mention that, considering you wanted to just kill that guard outright, all right? I just need to, prepare every step just in my head mentally at the moment.
So if this happens again,
yes.
How would I... We should come up with a code word for when I want to kill somebody.
Oh. Okay, how about, what's something that you really hate? Country music.
William starts walking.
Okay. You just start walking
I honestly, just in the direction that we were sort of talking where the village is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you start kind of making your way through the brush. It's a lot of bushes and trees and stuff, so you got to kind of hop around and whatnot.
Yeah. A Billiam can hop. Mm-hmm. I could hop.
So what do y'all do while Billiam is just sauntering off? Your child. You're letting your child wander off into the distance.
Billiam, come... Atlas, let's walk and talk.
Oh my god. I didn't realize we'd be signing up with so much responsibility for this child.
I didn't either.
Oh, God, who knew?
It's a lot of work.
Right? Child's a lot of responsibility.
Y'all are still moving.
Yeah.
The noise is getting louder.
Yeah.
You can start to see a little bit more through the trees.
Okay.
Got any more Billiam banter?
Billiam, get back here. We need to... I feel like we
need to what?
We feel like we shouldn't just rush into town. Who are we?
The code word, it's going to be jolly.
Jolly?
I thought you loved... Fine. It's jolly.
Okay. Good.
All right.
Look, we don't need a code word.
Go ahead.
We're just going to hang out at this tavern.
Are you even allowed into taverns?
Yeah, of course I am.
Okay.
Aren't you too young? Brittany stops because she realizes that she's offered Billiam countless bottles of wine already.
Something oh, what have I done?
Okay, so we go to the tavern and just make our plan from there. Okay.
All right, so as you're heading towards the edge of the tree line where it starts to get a little bit thinner, you see someone kind of quickly running in your direction. It's an elf woman.
Oh.
And she's like, wait, stop there. Stop.
Brittany takes
You
a step
need-
back.
You need to hide your wings. Why? How do you have your wings?
Brittany just casts disguise self. Wings go away.
And you need to not let yours out again. That was so dangerous. Do you not even know? Where are you from? Why are you here with those?
Tourists.
Yeah, visiting for fun?
Yeah. I have family from long ago. It's been a while since I've been here. I just wanted to see, where my family came from. And this is our son, Billiam. He's a frog.
He's adopted.
And they
Don't let my servants fool you. I am not their son.
He's
Well-
going through that phase. Don't worry about him.
welcome anyway. Follow me. Just keep your wings hidden.
Oh, okay. So they don't like wings here? This is a no wing zone.
Everywhere in Mercuria is a no wing zone. No one can have wings.
The Pegasus had wings?
Oh yeah, the guards for Bragan. Yep. He was about to help you lead you around, right?
Yeah. I mean, sort of. Yeah. And then
Gonna
there was like
lead
a
you
little...
right to an enchanter and bind your wings.
Oh, so he
What?
wasn't going to give us a nice tour of the castle then.
No.
Okay. Well then, I guess the little kerfuffle that happened was a good happenstance. So...
Brittany leans over and is tugging on Atlas's armor. See, I told you.
Okay.
Well, just as long as you keep them hidden, everything should be fine. Just follow me to the monastery, okay?
Oh, thank
Okay.
you so much. I'm Atlas, by the way.
Oh, pleasure to meet you, Atlas. My name is Kaylessa.
Kaylessa.
I'll write that down for me. So yeah, Kaylessa kind of leads you out of the forest. It starts, the tree line starts to get a little bit more tapered, and then eventually, you're out in this field, and beyond you, what you see are rows and rows and rows of grapevines
Oh.
going off massively into the distance.
Oh.
And you
Brittany's
also see orchards, and you see fields of wheat and barley and hops. And in front of you, you see a glorious monastery right in the center of this. And all around this monastery, there are other little buildings that have popped up, a bunch of little homes and whatnot. Brittany would remember all of a sudden where you are.
I remember where I am.
You are at the Dreamwind Wineries,
Love it.
known for some of the greatest wines in all of history.
Oh.
I'm writing that down as well. Okay. So, yes, you remember this place. It is a place that you remember fondly.
Oh my gosh.
Brittany's just shocked.
It's gorgeous here. Why were we trying to go to that castle? This is where we should have been trying to visit.
This place has the best wine in all the plains and all the worlds.
It's no swamp.
Do you even know what wine is, Billiam?
Yeah, it's that bitter grape juice that you keep trying to force me to drink.
Listen,
He's
that
just
was
a
in the
little kidder. He
past.
doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh, my apologies. By looking at you, I assumed you were one of the great croakers.
You know of the Great Croakers?
Well, of course, we know of all the heroes here in Mercuria, and the croakers are, of course, some of the greatest heroes of all the bullywugs.
William starts hugging Atlas's leg. I told you.
Yeah, but I didn't believe you. Look at you. What did you, hero?
What do you mean, look at me? I'm amazing. Look, she knows. Yes.
Yes.
I
Croakers
start
are quite powerful.
strutting past to Kaylessa. Tell me more. Tell me more about what you know about croakers.
And so, as you guys are walking towards the winery, she's just talking your head off, telling you about all of these stories about these famous croakers. And you know a lot of these stories, but she's got details that you have never heard before. She's got a couple of other tales that you haven't heard. Just talking your ear off all about the croakers.
Billiam is in awe, like completely raptured.
Brittany is actually as well, because Brittany doesn't remember like any of the croakers like history in terms of like with her family as well. So she's very interested in like this sort of history lesson that she had no idea.
I feel like Brittany probably didn't care.
No, as a child, Brittany was not as, she was way more like young and
In her
innocent.
early hundreds.
Yeah, that was hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, she's old and bitter now, okay?
Okay.
So, as y'all are heading towards the winery, Atlas, Brittany, what are y'all kind of saying as this croakerness is going on?
Okay, so I turned to Brittany and I was like, so you know this place? You know where we are?
Yeah, I know exactly where we are. I haven't been here since I was like a kid, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, this is amazing. This is the closest thing you'll have to like your heaven or whatever.
Okay. I think this is my heaven, but...
It's Brittany's heaven for sure.
But... So did you have family that lived in this area?
Well, I mean, like Brittany like leans in and is whispering, well, like we all lived in the castle.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we came down here and like there were festivals and stuff, but we didn't live here.
Okay, but did you... I guess the question, did you know, at the time, the people that were running the winery, did you know them?
I mean, I didn't know them personally. I mean, I was a kid, so I was just like running around and like playing like kid stuff. My parents knew them.
Okay.
My moms knew them.
Okay. Maybe we can find them. Maybe they're still friendly towards your family.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, I would expect that this land would have been like burnt to the ground and turned into like some training grounds. The family that sort of overthrew ours is very militaristic, and they don't like things like wine and.
According to the guy
art.
that was sitting in that really nice chair in that tower, he said that all the wine has kind of like gone downhill since the new militaristic takeover. So I wonder if there's been some production changes. Maybe the people that you knew aren't actually making the wine anymore.
Interesting. Well, we'll have to ask some questions when we do the wine tasting.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, Kaylessa, when can we do some wine tasting? Since we are on vacation, might as well enjoy.
I'll take you right to the winery and brewery, and you can speak with one of the guides there. They can probably take you around and help you.
Oh, that'd be awesome, Kaylessa.
It's not really something we regularly do here. It's more of a place of worship and whatnot. But when people visit, we let them take freely of what we have.
Well, I mean, it's incredible to be at the place where we've heard the best wine in all the plains get made. I feel like this is a situation where we won't ever get to experience this again. We've got to try some of this wine, except for you.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What? Except for me?
You're too.
You don't like it, remember?
Yeah, it's too bitter for you.
Yeah, but they have other things.
They don't have French fries here.
Well,
You don't know that.
I could go for a French fly myself. I mean, that sounds pretty good. But there's probably other things besides wine.
maybe they'll have a root beer for you.
Root beer?
Yeah.
What's a root beer?
You take the roots from certain plants and trees, and you ferment it a little bit. You brew it, but it's not alcoholic.
Could it be?
Well, then it's just.
I mean, anything
then
you
it's
can make
just
alcoholic.
it'd still be made from roots, so it's root beer.
Well, that's a good point there, Billiam, actually. I haven't thought about that, because if you take root beer and you let it go past a certain point, it's still root beer, but then it's alcoholic, so then it's just like beer. Well...
Wrinkle in your brain, huh?
Also, age is relative. I could be an adult for all you know.
Are you an adult?
You don't know.
I do.
That's why I'm asking you.
Are you an adult?
Oh, yes.
I'm certainly an adult, all right?
Yeah, you would be.
So, by the way that you're talking to us, it seems like you are very much a child.
You don't know that. Come, Kaylessa. Tell me more about croakers while we take this root beer.
Okay, so Kaylessa leads you over into the middle of the town. So this is a town that has popped up around a monastery, and Brittany, you would know that pretty much everywhere here in Mercuria is kind of every little town or every little village is sort of an area of worship, because here it's the place of all the heroes and the warriors of great past, and also the great philosophers and whatnot are all worshipped here. You know, the greatest mortals essentially are heralded, and so are their stories. And so in the center of this town, there are two statues. One is gold, one is silver. And they are sort of, holding hands, like this kind of thing, where like you hold the other one's arm. It's like forearm grabbing. And so the statues are doing that, where they're both holding each other like that. And they both are wearing kind of, one of them, the gold one, is wearing sort of like robes. And the other one, the silver one, is wearing kind of some armor on its shoulders.
Wait, are they like,
and they're
like
both
this?
elves.
Like they're holding each other like this?
No, that
Like
one
the
where you
meme?
Oh, yeah, the meme.
Just thinking, were you trying to describe them as Carl Weathers and Arnold
Yes, Carl
Schwarzenegger?
Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just nuclear
They are
biceps.
the greatest mortals. Why wouldn't you worship them?
That's true. That's pretty good. Oh, man.
Okay, so I guess in that case, can we actually see monuments in this town as we're passing by to some of these mortals?
Yeah. Yes, indeed you can. And so, kind of dotted all around, you see statues and you see sort of monuments and whatnot that are just kind of obelisks and things like that. Kind of all over the place. And each of them, there are flowers at the base and everything like that. But clearly these two statues are the biggest in the area. But yeah, there's all kinds of them dotted around. You can see in the distance that there's sort of a flower field that a pathway leads up to, and there's another one that kind of looks like a little stone garden that is kind of cared for. And then not too far away is the sort of tavern area. It's still part of the monastery, so it's a very kind of nice looking place. It's not like a bar or a tavern. It's more like you can come in and you can get something and then kind of go sit outside or wherever, but it's not like a restaurant. This is a monastery.
Then I guess as we're passing by, could I ask Kaylessa? Kaylessa, these two statues seem much larger than any of the other ones. Can you tell me what they're about?
Yes, of course. Well, these are the two heroes that we worship here in this town because of their great adherence to peace. So this is a statue of Arbane Pereira and Katar Kelvin. And we're gonna write those down.
I wrote it down as Katar?
Ketars?
Katar. Pereira and Katar Kelvin. Okay. Two of the great leaders of the past. Kelvin came from the great hills up and onto the plateaus, meanwhile, Arbane was here in the valley. The two nations warred with one another for an extremely long time, hundreds of years, thousands maybe. And it was a continuous blood feud. But one day, Arbane decided to meditate on the the battle that they were currently having and trying to discern how to defeat her enemies. And specifically because there was going to be a final duel to determine who would be the victor, a sort of champions match, a battle for honor. And so the two leaders would face off. So Arbane began to study the ways of peace and to unburden herself from the anger and frustration and that aggressive drive that most use to engage in combat. And as she did this, and as she began to put not only peace, but love into her fighting, she was able to determine the different weaknesses that no one else was looking for. She was able to fight in a way that hadn't been seen. And so on the battlefield, she triumphed against Qatar Kelvin, and in doing so, brought honor to her group and was able to actually make peace with their people by not killing Qatar. And eventually, she taught Qatar the ways of peace. And so they both decided to lay down all of their arms and found this monastery here, where the brewers of the hills and the viners, what do you call
The
winemakers?
I guess the winemakers.
Winemakers.
Of the valley joined together in order to create all of the things that are wonderful and bountiful in order to celebrate life rather than take it. And so we honor them.
Everyone could.
Brittany's like tearing up. She's like,
Everyone can agree around a good drink. It seems like.
Yes.
Indeed.
A good drink.
And that is why we celebrate. You got your root beer?
I got something. Billiam had walked away and came back with obviously like a little pint of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I like in the background while y'all are like hearing this tale, you just see like Billiam like walk up to the barn, sort of like talking up at somebody, and like there's a small argument a little bit, but it's like you see this kind of like
gesture.
And lots of
gesticulation,
grabbing, like
and lots
motion.
of grabbies, and then eventually you're given a flagon of something.
What's it taste like there, Billiam?
It's bubbly.
Okay, great. We're gonna have so Bumbledore stuff. We're gonna have to deal with a drunk Billiam. Okay. Well, this town is gorgeous. I guess I'm. Once we arrive and we drink some of your wine, what else do you think that we should visit in this area?
Well, of course, all of the monuments around, you can learn more about the heroes of all time. If there's any questions that you might have about the great individuals of the mortal plane, there's plenty of books and libraries here that will give you any information you could potentially seek, or at least the best that anyone has. I would tell you could go further north along the way, up the mountain. However, currently our governor, I wrote this one down, Anais, is preventing anyone from heading up the mountain path until he deems fit.
Okay. So we'll just stay around here for now then.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I have a question.
Yes.
Because my family is from here, and since we're, like I said, traveling to sort of take a look at, what our great-grandparents were a part of, I had heard so many tales about the Lashriel family, the royal family. Are they still here? And we're great heroes of the land.
Yes, the Lashriels. I don't know too much about them myself, but I do remember hearing that they were either driven away or all destroyed by Bragan and the House of Swords, I believe.
Is there maybe a monument to them?
There might be. It would be in a monastery not far from here. It's and sort of like points off in a general direction and says, if you head that way for a few days, you will arrive at a monastery that worships the great heroes of this plane, and that would be where you would find information on the lash reels.
Got it.
Okay. Well, we might have to make a trip over there. Let's sit and enjoy some wine.
Just make sure not to fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you explain that a little bit better, maybe, just so that we know?
Yes, well, when Bragan and the House of Swords took control of the kingdom here, they decided that it would be prudent to bind everyone's wings in order to prevent another uprising. And the spell, which was originally created, I believe, in order to help Averial to escape and get away from Bragan or any other threats, it was then used to bind all of Averial. So, quite unfortunate. Sometimes the things that we create to help become the things that are used to hurt. An important lesson to learn, as many of these heroes show. Yes.
So, I guess how. If it's too personal of a question, did you have wings at one point?
Yes, of course. Yes.
And so you just have not been able to fly for some time then?
No, they have been mystically bound, and even if I did, I would be singled out by their guards and likely eliminated.
How awful.
Right.
Well, and I fear that was your fate about to happen. Thankfully, you were able to escape.
Well, thank you so much for finding us and telling us.
Yeah.
It's just so shocking that I mean, it's like a bird having his wings clipped. You know, just it seems so natural for everyone to want to fly, and then just to take that away.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Can I ask, what does Bragan have any monuments?
Oh, yes, of course. He's had many monuments built in his honor. Currently, he is having one of the greatest ever constructed being built. And sort of points off in a direction. You can actually see like a mountainside that is starting to be kind of chiseled away into the likeness of Bragan.
Got it.
Kind of staring off with kind of a sword pointed forward and wings kind of flying back.
As
It's
sort
very
of
crude at the moment.
as sort of this conversation is happening, like Brittany's like keeping it like a very good demeanor, like happy, like yes, we're tourists, but like grabs like Atlas's wrist and is like squeezing, like.
I'll say, oh wow, that is truly a monument for sure. I mean, a monument that big, to construct something that large, everyone around here must really love Bragan, huh?
Sure, yes.
Okay. I mean, I'm not from here, so I don't really know. I won't get into the inner politics of it all, though. I'm just here to enjoy some wine.
Yeah.
Of course, yes.
Can I do an insight check potentially
Okay. Yep,
on
go ahead.
Kaylessa?
Mm-hmm. So what do you want to check?
Oh, just like when she was just like, yes, of course, we like them, you know.
Yeah.
Just being able to know.
Yeah, no. So clearly, no, they're under the thumb of someone that they do not like.
Okay.
But
That's
very
all.
much, Bragan is in control.
Okay.
So it's sort of like a resigned,
Yeah.
yep, that kind of thing. Well, if you like, I could lead you over here to our barkeep, and you may speak to him and potentially try some wines or some brews
maybe
that we have.
I think that would be great. We can get a little food, a little drink, and go have a little picnic. What do you think, Atlas and Billiam?
Absolutely. Let's get ourselves a little picnic basket. Maybe something more like a root beer float for Billiam here. And then, I kind of want to peruse some of these monuments, learn a little bit more about them.
That would be great.
Okay.
So we go to the barkeep?
Yeah, you go on in, and so Kaylessa kind of leads you over to another elf or a varial, you're not sure, standing behind a sort of wooden bench kind of thing, but instead of like being in like fancy clothes or whatever like that, like you might think like a barkeep might have, just wearing robes, just like kind of everyone else you've seen at the monastery.
Got it.
Billy on his tiptoes sort of puts the flagon back up on the bar. And like with his fingers pushes it back. It's like, fill her up.
Ah, yes, of course, little one.
Brittany leans over. What did you give him?
Well, he asked for Scodwaddle Swill, and so I gave him some Scodwaddle Swill.
Scodwaddle Swill.
What is this?
It's a famous swamp-grown delicacy. It is made with a sort of moss that grows along the top of the water, usually in the dirtier, muckier parts of the swamp, and then it is left to ferment and rot for quite a long time, and then distilled into an impressively mediocre drink.
I mean, it sounds like it's from his region. Sure.
Indeed, and the great croaker heroes of old drank this in victory.
The great. So,
Great.
Everyone here knows about the great croaker heroes except for us, it seems like, and Billiam.
Oh, indeed, croakers.
No,
croakers are.
What? You're telling me I don't know my own history? I've heard.
No,
my
I'm saying
history
everyone
thousands
knows
of
about
times.
it except for us. Oh, and I meant everyone knows about it except for Billiam, and these people.
How dare you?
Anyway.
How dare you say that about me?
I was trying to say that you know about it and everyone else knows about it, but not me. And
Yeah, because we're amazing and we're awesome. We've done a lot of good stuff in the world.
well, oh, you know what? I haven't asked. Is there a croaker monument around?
Oh, indeed. Yes, there should be down past the stone.
William, it's like, fill her up. Really banging on the bar.
So he opens this very this gourd that's kind of
Oh my God.
twisted and not great looking. You pops it open and you immediately get a smell of a dirty sink, and
Smells like Rhaegar.
pours that into Billiam's flagon and then pops it off, puts it back under.
William with both hands grabs a flagon and immediately toddles off to see the monument.
I love just this idea of big old flagon and just
Little
waddling
feet
off.
slapping.
Yep.
Yeah, like
Do
a
you
duck.
have any vintage from 100 years ago, perchance?
Well, most of the good stuff has been taken. We continue to try and make wonderful wines, but it's been difficult.
Oh.
But you know what? You're here. You're new. You're visiting. Hold on a moment.
It's just
And so
yeah,
he sort of disappears down some into a cellar, immediately. You might have tried to say something, but he's just immediately down to a cellar. It's gone for a little bit.
Mhm.
Talk amongst yourselves.
So we're just gonna get wine drunk.
That's part of it, yes.
Okay. And then
All right, as you say that,
I was going to say, and then should we try to go to your family's monument?
Maybe. I haven't gotten that far. I'm still formulating a plot in my head.
I'll admit, I kind of think we might have some allies just right here.
Yes, I don't think anybody really likes Bragan. I wonder why. But yes, we should talk in the taco hut.
Yep.
Talking the
So
taco.
then the barkeep guy comes back up, and he's got this one old bottle that's quite dusty, and he's sort of I have a few of these that I've stashed away for special occasions. Don't tell anybody, okay? And so very carefully uncorks this wine. The scent of it immediately goes into the air, and Brittany, you're just
In heaven.
it's the
Yeah.
greatest. What kind of wine would be Brittany's favorite kind of wine?
A very earthy wine.
Oh.
Okay. Like
A
an earthy
full,
red.
An earthy, full-bodied red, yes.
Okay. So, yeah, he pours this wine into a couple of glasses, and it is a pure, full-bodied red.
Not very tanniny. It's got probably blueberry notes. Sorry, I'll stop now. It's beautiful.
It's very much like what your favorite would be. Not like it's like perfectly tailored to you, but it's just like right in that area where you're like, oh yeah, this is the business.
And like it like the smell is like just like nostalgic as well.
Yeah, exactly. You're suddenly hit just with huge waves of nostalgia. And, you know, likely it probably makes you incredibly emotional.
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden.
Brittany, like, turns away and is like wiping. Can't cry in front of everybody.
Like, because you get these notes, like, you smell it and you get, like, an image of, like, running around in your parents' kitchen while they were they were making some food. There's, you know, you get these memories of running around with your sister out in the forests just beneath the castle. You're getting all of these wonderful memories. You know, you're seeing your moms together in front of you, and so yeah, just all that stuff just hitting you.
Brittany is like, thank you so much, and like gives like an extra huge like here's a donation for the monastery.
Actually, I've got that covered. And I start reaching into my backpack full of all the stuff that Billiam has been shoving into there. And I pull out just one of the jewels and just plunk it there.
Oh, yes. There is no need for you to do that. We do this for simply the good of all, but I appreciate the donation. Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Atlas, what do you think of the wine?
So I taste the wine, and I feel like I'm struggling to remember if I've ever actually drunk wine ever on the podcast. I know I've had beer.
You'd think you had.
I feel like I offered like bottles of wine
like
to you at some point. Yeah.
But you're not really a connoisseur.
But I'm not. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And so I drink this, and I'm like, oh, it's so much smoother than any of the other wines I've had. I'm used to,
I know.
like the stuff that I feel like I've had with what I was able to afford before was just always so sour, and this is so good. It's so smooth.
Right?
Well, it is 1,000 years old.
Oh my god. So there's not many of these left, is there?
No, you're basically tasting something so incredible.
It's amazing. Is this why you like wine so much?
Yes, in fact.
Why don't your wines taste like this?
Because this is 1,000 years old and cultivated in the best soil in all the plains.
Like your other wines, they were like, okay. This one, though.
Well, I didn't make them. Listen, sometimes when you're desperate, you get what you get.
So Billiam has been wandering back to you guys, and he's just really happy. He's got like the biggest smile on his face. He's like, guys, they got my master's like great-great-grandfather over there. It's amazing. What are you guys doing?
Well, we're having the best wine in the universe.
Yeah.
So.
The universe?
Yeah. Or.
How big is that?
Well, it's all the planes. Like there's
all the planes.
There's our world. You know, there's Caldair. But then there's Corvair. Sorry. And then there's like Celestia.
Alice has had too much wine.
There's all the different planes.
He's wine
This
drunk.
is the best wine in all of them.
Give me. You try it.
So the barkeep, okay, pours a little bit for you in
tiny
your
sip.
flagon. Yeah.
I take a little sip. It's good. It's okay. And then I take a sip at the cod swallow.
Yeah.
I pour a little into the wine.
Oh no!
Take a sip of that.
Brittany averts her eyes to the sin that is being committed in front of her.
Yeah. How does the barkeep feel about that?
You're like, well, experimentation can lead to great things.
This is much better now.
Oh my god.
Alice, try it.
Oh, do I have to?
Try it.
You sure?
Try
You
it.
don't have much left in that cup. You sure you want me to take a sip? I take a sip.
Roll a Constitution.
Oh my god.
Con.
What'd you roll?
Oh no.
7.
A 7.
Okay, yeah, so it's one of those ones where, like, you take the sip, and you immediately have, like, the big eyes, immediate sweat, you know? And you just kind of get one of those, you know, kind of thing.
Oh, he's starting to sound like a croaker now.
Oh, man.
William starts croaking too, and he's just like,
I think the experimentation didn't work that time, I'm afraid. Oh, Billiam, where have you been?
I told you I was over there.
Yeah, let's go check out Billiam's grandfather's statue.
Yeah, barkeep, thank you again for the wine as I take my
Yes,
last sip,
yes.
and I say enjoy that gem.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Indeed.
Don't worry about it, Billiam.
Oh, man. All right, let's call it there.
Next, let's go for one to price, actually.
Oh, okay, I got one.
I got one. This comes from Clark, Benny Jet's kid.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, Clark.
He addresses this question to Staven, which I assume he means Staven.
Okay.
Staven, why do so many adventurers ask for your name?
Well, you know, I think Staven has a certain kind of presence to them. You know, Staven can't really be kind of pinned down or defined, right? And so people see Staven and they're like, I need to know everything about you. And so they ask Staven's name, and of course...
So there's just something about you that makes people just want to know you.
Yep.
Okay.
All of the Stavens have a sort of...
Je ne sais quoi.
a certain, a link to them, you know?
It's almost like a charismatic aura.
What if they're like the Officer Jennies and the Nurse Joys
Yes.
of Ebberon?
Yes.
They
Yes.
all look
They all look the
exactly the
same.
same.
Yep. There you go. You should go up to a character at some point and just be all like, what's your name? No. Wait, let me guess.
Yeah.
Staven? You had to look for it.
All right. This one is to Corvin. Yeah. It's Corvin. This question comes from. This one comes from Betty Jets. Okay.
Aw.
It's a two-parter. One, Corvin, do you like fictionalized mysteries? And two, if yes, what are your favorites? If no, what is one that you despise the most? All right, so I get the trope of people that are detectives being into old fictionalized mystery novels and whatnot. And you know, I tried to read Murder on the Zolargo Express, and it just seemed so predictable. I mean, it was gonna be the old lady, right? I mean, it just was. And sure enough, as I skipped to the last chapter just to find it out, because I don't have the patience, the thing was like at 600 pages. It was the old lady. So I proved myself to be the greatest detective by just calling it from the beginning. And so in that extent, I liked the novel, but I have not read another one since.